Heading out to Denver today. El Segundo.
San Francisco.
Las Vegas. Campbell, California. Leaving Detroit for San Antonio. At home, it was funny. I feel like my mom would find these recipes or talk to like people at like our church and stuff that we would go to. And so she made like tuna noodle casserole and it became like one of the favorite dishes. But then we would have like crispy tacos, you know, with the picadillo like meat and stuff. And she put the papas in it. And like, I loved that. That was so good.
We don't cook all Mexican all the time. I mean, we do salmon, we do burgers, we do, fish, we do.
Granted, there's always salsa on the table.
Yeah, there's always something on the table with everything.
I'm Stefanie Garcia Turner, and I am the founder and CEO of Túyyo Foods. What we do is take our traditional drinks, aguas frescas, using fruit ingredients, agave, Himalayan salt, and then putting them in a really convenient powdered mix so that people can enjoy the refreshing taste of aguas frescas. As I grew up and, started to identify what I wanted to eat and drink as an adult, I wanted to cut out things that were artificially preserved or, dyes or anything along those lines. And so I started reading ingredients, and that's when I started seeing, wait, some of these brands that we've been using have, potassium sorbate or, red dye or whatever it might be. And a lot of times there really isn't a replacement, or the replacements are not very good, or you have to just like make it at home, which can be like really time consuming. So I think across a lot of different categories, there's an opportunity for cleaner ingredients, more better for you products. And for Latin Americans, like it needs to taste good. It doesn't matter if you're gonna like lose 50 pounds overnight or something like that, or this is gonna increase your endurance level. It's like, if it doesn't taste good, I'm not gonna eat it. And I think that's kind of a mentality that, is just within our community. So it's great if it's better for you, even better if it tastes good. So with the aguas frescas that I would drink, everything was made from fruit. For the most part, it's a lot of sugar that's added because sugar just really, it's one of those things that people love, right? Like I wanted to use, these fruits like strawberry, mango, and see what kind of flavor I could get out of them. And thankfully, like these flavor profiles were like so on point. It's really like the strawberry is gonna have that sweetness of the strawberries. And in my form, it's essentially like blended up strawberries that get dried out, and then they just kind of rehydrate a little bit back when you add in the water. So you're getting that flavor of the strawberry. The biggest challenge has really been funding, to be honest. I mean, there's a huge challenge in it being pretty much myself and, some members of my family who help me, a couple of, consultants on the side, but for the most part, like I've been running everything. So there is that challenge of time and energy and where to like focus. But the funding is huge just because, without that money, making that momentum last is really challenging. What I've kind of challenged myself to do is to try and find more, women angel investors or funds that do focus on more ethnically diverse brands, so that barrier is much, much less of trying to explain like what I'm doing and what this product is and why it's exciting and important.
Yeah, and so it's in juice.
Yeah.
It's not only needing to be with a Latin section of food.
Yeah. It can be very deflating. I go back and I think, well, should I really just like say my product is only for Hispanic people? It's like, but no, it's not. I don't want to like put myself into a corner and kind of put this bubble around me, because I don't think that's not fair, for sure. But that's not the opportunity. The opportunity is to be able to expose so many more people to something that is, very quintessential to my culture.
Touch the handle, don't touch anything else.
Yeah.
Let's see, now you're gonna throw on the ponies.
Kind of crazy to see how many places we've been, but we would always come back to San Antonio.
Yeah.
Like this would always be the constant.
In the picture.
Oh, my mom was cooking menudo, I
Aguas.
think. Oh, frijoles borrachos.
Oh,
Oh.
in her big old pot.
Yeah. For 20 people, yeah.
Those are the only
Oh,
two.
it's Steph's birthday. I mean, to me, it was important to continue our culture. I mean, we're in America. We have adapted to America. You know, the land of plenty. We didn't want them to forget, this is where you came from. This is who we are. This is who you are. You're American, but you're also Latina.
As someone who's first generation, seeing the journey that, you know, my parents have had and making their lives a success, I think that the biggest part of like the immigrant story and what comes after is fearlessness and drive, because you don't have much else and you want to make it work.
You know, I was thinking of like the brand name Tuyyo. It's you and me in Spanish. I just kept thinking of being this circle of like who I am, Mexican American, my Hispanic culture coming together and just always being around people that I love or love me. So I think the desire at the end of the day just came from me wanting to share a piece of myself and to be, you know, authentic and transparent and slightly vulnerable in the mix. Incorporating our culture into the mainstream is something that I'm so proud of. Although I think it's like slowly starting to change because a lot of retailers are starting to come up with like innovation programs, and Whole Foods has their Forager program where they're always looking for new products. So I think that's the exciting part about that retail industry, is that you have the ability to bring in these items and surprise and kind of delight, you know, customers and guests on a variety, like bringing in more of a variety of products, and then let them be the ones to choose whether it, you know, lives or dies on the shelf. You know, let them be the ones to think, yes, I love this, it's great, I can incorporate it into, you know, my household.
Food has stories. It captures time. If you forget the beginning, then you know you're not understanding where you're going.
I mean, you draw from both cultures. You're not one or the other, you're both. So merge them together and remember your roots. Remember where you came from.
All of those things influenced Stefanie. For me, I hear my suegra, you know, I hear my mother-in-law in my daughter's approach to things. You know, I hear it and I smile.
So we're here at my grandma Ruiz's house. She passed in 2020. It was really sudden, so it really impacted my family a lot because she was just the glue that really held the family together. And she would always have the freshest food and the freshest fruits, and she'd take the grapefruit from her backyard and, you know, and juice them. And we'd always have these, you know, fresh juices. And I remember talking to my cousins, and I was like, you know, guys, like, what if I did a business and like the aguas frescas that grandma would make, and because we all, you know, remembered that, and the inspiration was her. Yeah, and just the way that she cared about us and the drive that my grandma has and had. I feel like it's living on through me, and I want to make this business a success for her.